Sleep in a space where shadows crawl. Something's watching through the wall. Footsteps echo, no one there. Cold wind breathing down your neck. Beware. Eyes in the dark, you feel it move. Truth or fear, what do you choose? Welcome to the dark side. Step inside the night. Creepy culture calling. Yeah, we shining bright. Stories that will haunt you. Truth you can't ignore. Jennifer's bringing what you felt before. Keep it creepy. Hear the unknown call. Keep it creepy. Something's in us all.
Hey, welcome to Creepy Culture. It's Jen, along with Monsters Unleashed, Mike and Trisha, Monster Mike and Trisha. And today we're going to have Matters podcast on, which is MoJoe the Mad and Dr. Clutch. So we're bringing them out, and we're just going to talk about whatever today. We're just going to go with the flow. Hold on.
Hello.
Hi, welcome you two.
Hello, hello.
Thanks for having us. How
How
you
you
doing?
doing?
How's everyone doing today? Hope you're all having a great weekend.
Yeah,
I enjoyed that intro song. That was great.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah.
Trisha made it.
Very nice.
We were
Trisha
going.
did
We were going to have MoJoe on our show yesterday, and Dr. Clutch couldn't come, so Jen was going to have MoJoe and Dr. Clutch tonight. So we decided just to combine the two shows in one night to make sure we'd get everybody here.
Very
Honored
nice.
to be here. An honor to be
I
here.
think it worked out well.
Yes.
It did.
Yeah,
Monster show. Yes.
Yes, exactly.
the
MoJoe.
creepy monster show.
Yep, the creepy monster show.
At the mansion with the margaritas. Yes.
We might need a studio name that. Creepy Monster Show.
The Mad
Creepy
Creepy Monster Show.
Maybe we'll start a show, call it Creepy Monsters.
That's the one.
Yes. They
That's
usually
funny.
hang out at night at Walmart, don't they?
That's funny.
So, sorry.
So actually, there is actually relevance to Walmart. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Dr. David Jacobs, but he claims that human hybrids or hybrids tend to hang out in suburban areas and shop at Walmart.
I've heard this, and I've had a couple retail experiences with something that I wasn't sure was.
Yeah, I was going to say, I've seen some freaks at Walmart, so
It could be
Right.
hybrids.
No, these were at a Target. Like, I don't know what they were, but like, yeah, I've had a couple. I've had more than a couple at a retail store.
look, I was at Walmart one day, and I was going across the back aisles and looking down the main aisles because I was looking for something, and I seen this woman, and honestly, I thought she was dressed in a pear costume because she had on this green shirt, but she was shaped like a pear,
Huh.
come down like this. And I honest to goodness, thought she was dressed like Fruit of the Loom or something. I didn't know if she was in a costume or what, but yeah, true story.
She's embracing her inner self.
Yes.
I have to take anxiety meds to go into Walmart. I'm good.
Well,
Have you heard of the Walmart conspiracy theory of the underground bases underneath Walmarts?
I have.
Yes,
They're
to
all
sacrifice
tunnels.
people for lower prices. Yes, I've heard of this.
For lower prices.
Yeah.
there's only one group that's going to have the ultimate lowest prices available.
Yes.
Yes.
I have heard that before. I've also heard the little conspiracy about them being what do you call them? Oh my gosh, what is the word? Somebody help me.
Deep underground
like a-
military bases.
Well, FEMA camps or whatever.
FEMA camp.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Walmart is an evil corporation, and they're probably going to sue me if they hear this. But I watched a video on them, and they pay off other consumers to get them lower prices for their store. Like if you go to Walmart, soda is always cheaper at Walmart. I mean, it really undercuts all the other local stores. And that's
There's
because they have
definitely
Pepsi and Coke in their back pocket. So they get it way cheaper than anybody else can get it, so they can sell it at that lower price.
Yes,
So they're
definitely
just
demonic
marketing the
presence
boxes soda
in
up?
the Walmarts.
Yeah, that's what they do. I mean, they get it super cheap,
'Cause
really cheap, and they make a huge profit off of it because they're getting it so cheap.
Because I was really confused because I always go to Kroger's and get the buy two, get two free or,
Kroger's does it too.
yeah, that makes sense.
But in some areas, they put Food Line completely out of business because of their marketing strategies, how they do things like that.
I used to work for Walmart.
They were actually investigated by the government for it.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
I didn't know
Did
that.
anything come of that, or did they just buy the government?
No, the government found that they were doing that, and I forget what that guy said that they did to them, but yeah, it wasn't good. They got like fined super, really big. But which I mean, it doesn't matter how much they fine Walmart; they have so much money they just hemorrhage money.
Yeah.
I do think Amazon's a little easier than Walmart to deal
Yeah.
with.
I've found myself shopping more with Amazon here in the past, say, 2 years than I shop. I very seldom ever go to Walmart. My wife will go there and grab a few groceries from time to time, but now all my major purchases are purchased through like Amazon, eBay. I do a lot of shopping with eBay, and the only bad thing of it is eBay takes so long for shipping. If eBay had the express shipping like Amazon does, eBay would put Amazon out of business because their prices are way cheaper. You can go to eBay and buy something for $9.99, and you go to Amazon and it's $33.99.
But you got to wait for shipping.
You got to wait like 5 days to get what you need.
Oh, Jesus. Who can do that? Who can wait 5 days?
And then you can always shop at Posh. Jen, shop at Posh and buy it from Jen because Jen is a seller on Posh.
I am. Yep.
Awesome.
And I do buy stuff off Poshmark all the time. I need to quit.
Nice.
Speaking of buying and Poshmark, Jen, I need a new pair of hiking shoes. I busted the toes out of these ones.
No way. Did you really?
Yeah, I hike. I told you I'm always in the woods. I'm hiking a lot, but yeah, the toes busted out. So.
No, let me tell you one on Trisha. We were out there last night. We were on our way walking back out. We were going to head down to where we had parked, and we were going to set up at a picnic table down there and just listen, And we're coming out. We're almost out. And Trisha says, "Whoa, what's that?" And we turn around, and I had my headlamp on, and I hit it, and all you seen was like this glowing eye beside of this tree,
Oof.
really bright. And
Is it an eye or an orb? You think it could have been an orb?
off Trisha went. She went in there
Off I went.
wide open towards it, and I yelled at her, and I told her, I said, "Stop, stop, stop!" And cause I thought it was moving. I thought it moved.
I thought I saw it move, but it,
And so I said, "Wait a second," and we all lit up our lights onto it. And then we realized it was one of those glow tacks that someone had stuck into a tree. But if you would have seen it, you would have honestly thought it was eye shine because it looked just like eye shine. And then Scott hit it with his super bright light, and it lit up the tree that it was on.
I was just gonna go check it out. If it's a being, and this is how I've been even in the LBL, and Jen can back me up on this. If there's something standing there, and I snap a photo, best way to debunk it's go check it out. So that's what I did last night. And Dad's like, "Stop, stop, stop, stop." So I started backing up, back down to him, and it ended up being a trail marker. That's really disappointing. It was a trail marker.
Well, I didn't want to put her in between me and it, because she was directly in between me and it. And if it was something that was going to charge us, she would have been right in the way, and we'd have had I couldn't have done anything, so. But yeah, it was interesting. We had a good night.
We did.
We really did. We picked up something we don't know what it was. When we first picked it up on infrared, it was in behind this tree, but you could see it sticking out from both sides. And as we're watching it, it moves to look around the tree at us. And we could see it moving because it would move in and out. And Scott's camera that had the infrared on it fell. When it did, it like ejected the infrared sensor. And we were there 20 minutes with bright flashlights looking, trying to find this $400 little infrared thing.
Oh no.
And we found it, and he plugged it back in, and we were looking again, and it was gone. And I guess the bright lights and everything spooked it, and it just jetted.
I got a tick on my stomach looking for that infrared.
Oh no. I
Oh,
don't
yeah.
want to do with no ticks.
So,
Um,
Mike and Tricia, how long you been hunting for Sasquatch or doing the or cryptid hunting?
It'll be a year next month.
Yeah, as Monsters Unleashed, it's been a year. It'll be a year next month. So we're gonna have to figure out something to do big for our 1-year anniversary.
Yeah, hell yeah. Right on. Cool.
But yeah, I mean, it's been a year, and we look forward to many more years doing it.
Has it been mostly just the U.S. or completely the United States?
Yeah, it's been Kentucky, Tennessee, West Virginia, and North Carolina.
Are you familiar with what's his name? Steve Isdahl. He does the How to Hunt channel. He's kind of a
No,
Vancouver guy. He goes into Alaska a lot though. But he says in British Columbia, Vancouver Island is the place to be. Have you heard of Vancouver Island in BC?
yeah, Ape Island.
Yeah, he says like if you're desperate to find something and if you're striking out and you really got to find something, like go to Vancouver Island. It's almost like a sure thing.
It's funny. I seen a video from Small Town Monsters. They did a video. Actually, I think a 2-part video on that Vancouver Island.
Oh.
And there was a guy there. He went in by himself, and he was camping in there. And it was dark. He'd walked out onto this little ridge line because he'd heard something. And something on the video, you seen it, a bright light, and it flew right over top of him.
All right.
And the only thing that I can assume is that it was a UFO. It was bright. It flew right over top of the trees, right in front of him.
But he got it on camera. That's cool.
He
That's
did,
cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's the best evidence. If it doesn't happen too quick where you can catch it on camera or whatever, if you can find that proof that legitimizes the story.
The problem of it is, guys, is that even if you catch it on camera, people still don't want to believe you.
That's true. That's true.
Tell you a story.
We have Trisha's encounter with the dog man. We have it on camera. We've played the video for everyone. That video sits there with just barely over 100 views to it. Nobody believes it. It's true. I mean, it's hard. It's what she's seen is just unbelievable.
I don't let people get to me. I know what I saw. I know my team went through with it. I know what I've been with it, and I really don't give two shits about people's opinion about it because I was there, they weren't.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what she's seen right there. That we have that on video.
I made eye contact.
And
with
his
that.
ears was flicking, just like like a dog. You know how dogs' ears, you watch them, they got your attention, their ears will stand up and they'll flicker. And it was doing the same thing. I mean,
just standing there swaying, one arm in front, one arm in the back, one leg in the front, and it was just standing there swaying, just me and it looking at each other in its eyes.
and that's on camera. She seen it in her eyes, so it wasn't kind of grainy or anything. And
So
on the
on
video-
camera, it's a pretty good picture. But what would you say the type of face was? Is that like German Shepherd or
that's the actual steal that we took from the video right there.
No, it was more hyena.
hyena? Okay.
Yeah, and it had a mane.
Amazing. Did it have canine legs or was it straight-legged?
No, it was canine legs. The arms were humanoid. The hands were humanoid, but it didn't have like claws, like rounded claws. This was
Mhm.
like triangular nails, almost like a raccoon.
A raccoon.
You ever seen the raccoon's nails?
Not recently, no.
Raccoon.
They have like human like kind of fingers and hands, but they're
Yes.
still paws.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
They're like very thin.
Freaking AI has ruined stuff for people that do have stuff that's legit. You know what I mean? I hate it.
I don't think it'll ruin anything. I think everyone that's had an experience that has been extraordinary or profound, it always stays in your memory. When you have things that you're not supposed to see or are not supposed to exist, it changes your life. And,
Yeah.
and people will continue to tell these things. The problem is with extraordinary, examples. You need extraordinary proof, or otherwise it's just a story. When I tell others that I've talked to about this, I'm like, if you have something on your house that's continually, repeatedly coming over to your property, you should probably try to get cameras put up, right? Like, try to get this proof and then present it. You're always going to have people that don't want to believe it. I had a UFO fly over my house. I had 10 people there. Only 5 of them saw it, including myself. The other half couldn't even see it. I think there's a part of the human mind and consciousness when it comes to this stuff that, like, once you see something like that and it's legit, like that kind of whatever vibrational energy that is, and you see it and it's before you, it literally changes your awareness and who you are, so that then the next one can't hide because you've already seen you've already seen it, right?
Right.
And I became a believer because of shared experiences, and then experiences that happened outside of what I would consider a vision, or like alone, right? Like, when I started having shared experiences, that's when I got validation, right? I didn't need the validation of the UFO entertainment industrial complex, or the Bigfoot Sasquatch entertainment industrial complex. I had my reality, whether people believe me or not. I've had these experiences. Like, I doubt them myself too. Like, how do I know what I saw is what I saw? And if it's something that can make me see something like that, it can also change the environment. So how do I know what I saw is actually what I experienced?
Right. I mean, you just never know. You never know what you're going to run into in the woods. I mean,
Yes.
there's a lot of
Yes.
stuff there.
You sure don't.
Yes.
There's just a lot of stuff in there. I mean, Trisha's had episodes with these pale crawlers
Oh yeah.
and Dogman. We've had Sasquatch, things happen. I mean, stuff that we can't even explain.
Mhm.
Yep.
Entities
Yep.
that
Yes.
take mist form.
Yes.
The
And
mist.
the newest thing that I'm learning,
Fairies too. They're out there too.
yes. And the newest thing that's kind of really just blown my mind, and it's a new doorway that's opening for me to research into, is these entities that are coming together with these cryptids. They
Right.
can perform rituals together. And I'm sitting there thinking, that's insane. Because here I am, I'm thinking,
It's all magic. We live in a world of magic.
yeah,
Whether we had to believe it or not, whatever faith we had, our ancestors walked hand to hand with their faith and magic. And we have been lied to about this world. And it's those people who get those sudden glimpses that get the chance to wake up a little bit, and then it leads you to questions. And then
Yep.
those questions make you want to have answers because you want results.
absolutely.
Right? Because you're not proven for everybody else. You're proven validation for yourself that what you saw that was extraordinary was real. And it becomes a matter of, like, when I hear about people who don't believe in anything, right? I'm like, that's because they've never had an experience.
And like in the LBL there,
Yeah.
it's they have so much that they're dealing with, because people go in here and they do rituals and they do devil worshiping and try to, bring demons up and all this stuff. It's just the stuff that they do in this place makes it one of the most extraordinary places I've ever been in. And the fact of it is, and Jen's right there, she can tell you. The fact of it is, when you go there and you leave, you crave to go back there.
Mm-hmm.
You
That's
you
a
can't
fact.
wait.
Yes, you never.
want to go back.
You want more. Yes. Yes.
I mean, we had War Criminal in here. He'll tell you. Martin Groves says in his third book, in the first chapter, he talks about the LBL calls to you.
It does.
Interesting.
Yes.
It calls to you to call you
What
back.
What if the land there itself has always been an area of spiritual and strange, energetic vibrations?
Well,
What if
I
it's
said-
legendary, like towards, as man created fire? What if what you're looking at is a place where the intersection of reality and human consciousness meet? There are entities out there that people have described that seem to come out of comic books. We had a guy on our show just last night who was talking about an evil Spider-Man encounter he had out in Arizona.
I don't know. If
And
it
that's
was-
That's kind of cool.
well, that's.
I don't think it was the Marvel Spider-Man, though. I mean,
No, there's been people though. It's a very small percentage of the population that there's been like 3 or 4 accounts of this thing, right? That resembles that supposedly. That's how they picked it. Although we did a AI rendition of it, and
it did
a
not
little
look
bit more
like the
different.
Marvel Spider-Man.
No, no, it didn't. It didn't look like Marvel Spider-Man. But I've heard of reports of like winged people and like toys becoming animated, and like when it comes to UFOs, owls. When you see like a weird owl outside of your
Yes.
house,
Mhm.
like supposedly people just before an abduction experience have seen a weird owl. And in Latin America, Mexico, the belief is that it's like a witch, right? Like the owl's a witch. So that's very much a part of their folklore still today.
I want to touch on something that we were just talking about as far as like the craving of wanting to go back to the LBL. It's not just like the craving to you want to know more, you want to experience more. There are actually people that the peninsula will put thoughts in your head, and they're not good thoughts.
Yes.
You have to be able to fight that urge to go back. Me and Jen was just talking about this on the phone because I've become mentally strong enough to, when my body and my mind saying you have to go back, you have to go back, you have to go back,
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I'm not going back because that's something dark telling me that I need to go back. It's
Heavy
also
energy.
thoughts of
Yeah.
suicide in people's head, and people who have actually went there and unalived themselves. So that's also that peninsula just putting these thoughts in people's heads and making them feel like they have to go back or they need to go back, and people need to fight that and be able to say, no, I don't have to go back. I'm just going back because I want to go back.
For
myself.
example, last night, yesterday evening, when we were headed into the Yard National Forest in North Carolina, Trisha just says out of the blue, she's like, I feel like I'm cheating the LBL. And I was like, that's weird. Because, I mean, you don't know, like I said, you never know what you're going to run into. We were going into really unknown territory. And you never know when you're going to find some kind of cryptid Spider-Man creature.
No, that was
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. No,
Have you heard of the
He-
suicide
he-
forest in Japan?
Yes,
yeah.
I have.
Very creepy. Yeah, but it does seem like there's the overall forest has a spirit of its own.
Well, when enough people die, like if we put out a magnetic field when we meditate and go through those different steps, so like if we die tragically, I would assume that in my belief system, like we're the portal for a lot of these things, right? Like, and if you to have too many people that died there, like if it was tragic, then they'd leave that energy behind. I think they would.
mhm. So MoJoe, you were just saying a while ago, you just about the AI and stuff like that, and We're talking about AI is really hurting this field because people can make stuff. I mean, would you have thought that I could have did that quick?
Yeah, I do because I'm an AI artist. I animate
Okay.
a lot of things with AI.
Well, you look how realistic that is. Now, anybody could say, "Well, look, I got this. I got this photo." I mean, a little bit of work, you could make it very convincing if you had to.
It still looks like AI to me, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah,
that's why I said a little bit of work, and it would.
when
Yeah, you
people
could-
tell the truth, when people tell a story, you kind of have to like take it any way you want to, and with proof, even with still pictures, I think you need more. Like I have to tell everybody this, like my stories that I've had of my experiences. I have artwork of stuff that I've drawn of those things, but I don't have a lot other than I have people that were with me long after later on in my experiences where it was shared. That was the validation part, right? But still, it's a story. I'm telling you a story from something I experienced, even though those other people might even name them by names. It's still a story, you know. So I encourage that on my show, like I did it with Jennifer. Like if you got pictures, you got evidence, you got video, bring it up. But also, I believe, like as a podcaster, I want to have people who have different perspectives and different ideas and different like ways of thinking, especially when it comes to this field, whether it be new agey or people that are truth seekers or even people who think they're aliens. Like, come on the show. Like, let's have a good and decent conversation. I think one of the things that is paramount in this world is that we have freedom of speech, and I think a freedom of speech is absolute. Even things that make people uncomfortable, and you should like have everyone have a voice to let everyone know and formulate their own opinions with who you're having on your show. We had a Satanist on our show last night, Zach Black. He's the one that told us about the evil Spider-Man experience and his being witness to the Arizona lights in Arizona when he was there.
the Phoenix Lights.
Phoenix Lights, yeah. But I do my show based on, I don't know if you guys have ever seen, it was my biggest inspiration for our show, which is a little bit of Twilight Zone with the show that Leonard Nimoy did after Star Trek in the 1970s, 1980s, that was really weird, called In Search Of. And I wanted to do that. I wanted to bring that feeling of this into this for everyone to get into that kind of frame of mind. Even this picture right here you see of Dr. Clutch's avatar, that's that's kind of what we're going for. So we do a lot of black and white, and we want to make it as entertaining. We also like to joke and have a sense of humor because whatever this thing is, it's got a sense of humor in it. And if you don't laugh about it, it's gonna mess with you. Like, you know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Oh, I completely understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
I laugh at me catching on fire all the time.
Yeah, yeah. You have to, especially in podcasting too. You have to have a sense of humor because when you're dealing with electronics, even as a musician, I noticed that like something catastrophic can happen at any time. Yeah, so you almost have to think on your feet and learn from your mistakes and like it's a good experience though, you know.
I want to know the creepiest things each of you have ever seen that terrified you.
Okay.
Who's first?
You guys pick that. I don't care which one.
You go first, MoJoe.
Okay. I mean, I could tell you the story.
It has to be the creepiest.
Well, okay.
The creepiest.
Creepiest story is the drone story.
The drone story. Tell us the drone story.
1986, I was up late at night at a house. You can look it up, 4670 Marcia Lane. I use that for our events because this is where this experience happened. Now, I had experiences previous to this. Couldn't tell you exactly if they were legit or not, but this one was really weird. Okay, I'm up at night. I'm drawing at my desk. I have a 2-story house in La Mesa, California, off of Fuerte Drive, like near El Cajon, La Mesa, Southern California area. We lived on top of a hill with a big windy driveway. And it was a 2-story house, but the second story on the house was towards the end of the house, and it was like a loft type of thing where you had stairs, it had its own bathroom, that kind of thing, and then it faced the pool, and there were windows that were facing east, south, and west, and then the stairs went down, right? So I'm up late at night, I'm getting ready to go to bed, and I see outside my window as I turn off the lights, there's a little red light going in a circle, and there's this like looks like a wheel outside my window. So I get up and I turn on the lights real quick because I want to see what it is, right? I wanted to know what the hell was that outside my window. My window was slightly. This is the east window of that building. Was slightly open because it was summertime and it was hot. And I run to the south window as it flew by. Now this thing didn't make any sound, but when I looked at it, I didn't know what it was. I had no reference points. I guess I knew about like remote control airplanes and helicopters, but I had no idea what a drone was. Right? Okay, so what this was, I knew what the drone was. I even looked it up. If you look up 1986 experimental military drones, it'll pop up. But this one didn't have the dual tails on the back. It had a single tail. It was great, but it was the gray, dull military color, right, that you'd see on the side of like a jet or any, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but this thing was silent. But it had sort of like a scoop front, like, I don't know how you'd call it, part of the frame of the aircraft or whatever, but I didn't know what it was. At the time, my only reference points was like Terminator movies or whatever, but I thought it was a UFO. I remember telling my friends I saw a UFO, right?
They say the 1986 military drone, they say the defining one was called the RQ-2 Pioneer. Have you seen what that looks like?
Yes. You want to bring it up? You can. Yes.
Okay. Get an image here.
So when the Afghanistan war happened, right, under Obama, that's when we started using drones, right? Like, and that's when I recognized, put the memory together that what I'd seen outside my window was a drone, some sort of drone, and it was flying very low. Since we were at the top of the hill, it was flying like maybe you could touch it if you were on one of the roofs as it was going down the hill. So some months go by. My family moves. We moved to a place called Rancho San Diego, which is a community, like, those closed. It's not a closed community, but there's a lot of houses that look the same, so it's like a housing subdivision type of thing. Common in California, right? Like, and we moved there, and that's when some weird stuff started happening. Like, I had this sudden impression that, like, one day, I felt it inside me. I didn't understand it, but I had this thought that didn't seem my own. Wouldn't it be nice to take a ride in a UFO? And I felt it all over my body. I don't remember a whole lot that happened after this next incident. Everything is black. I don't remember anything. Okay, but I'm going to tell you where I was. It ended up, all of a sudden, I see myself at that house that I grew up with, in the one with the 2 stories. And I was on the bottom floor. Going from the pool area, there was 2 gates that connected the garage, and there was a side door to the garage, and then there was a bougainvillea, and then this long, windy driveway connected by 2 gates that separated the driveway, the front area, and the back area of the pool. I hear the sound of like what sounded like Tibetan chanting, but very atonal. It was like that, like just straight up like that, like monks chanting, but like as if it was an instrument or something. It was weird. Okay. I look up, I see 3 octagonal shaped craft in a vector formation, 2, one in the front, 2 in the back. I see what looks like a transparent like image on the garage of what looks like a gray alien as they're flying by me. As they start to fly by me, they're saying something outside, like in some sort of a mechanical voice, like I couldn't explain it to you, but it's a deep. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was waving at somebody in the chat. Sorry. Sorry.
Okay. Okay. So I hear this. I feel the sound, right? I go through the gate, and then I cry out to it. And then, okay, I want to add this too. Okay, I'll talk about that later. This is where I start to think that this may or may not have been an ET experience, but maybe something because I saw something I wasn't supposed to see. Okay. So I cry out to it and go out the driveway. Don't leave me here. All right. One of them flies. The two of them fly off. One of them lands at the end of the driveway. It looks like a toy. I get closer to that toy, and then all of a sudden it turns into a big ship, and then something grabs me that looks like a fetus type thing, and then I'm starting to have strange, like I don't know how to explain it, but fragmentation or scenes. Like the first scene that I remember, I was in a white room that looked like a dentist office with a dentist alcove on the left-hand side, and I feel like I'm on a slanted board. It's pure white. Everything is made from the floor. There's a light that you couldn't tell what direction it was in, but it was bright. Then the little, they were, I would guess you would call them, I called them time life aliens at the time because my only reference point was an alien face in a time life book. And they were small. They were, I don't know if they were gray, but they were white in color, almost as white as the color of the ship inside. I then see a picture of an Aztec mask that's on fire. As all of this is going on, the sound of that Tibetan monk chanting is going on, right? I start to feel a headache, like right here like someone had taken a sledgehammer to my head. And I start to feel this really bad. I see visions of wires. I see like something looking up at me from down below like this, and then you can make out that there's a face there, but it's clearly distorted by something. I don't know what it is, and I can feel that this thing isn't really happy with me. Then everything turns black. I wake up and I'm on the couch. I lived in a small room in this little house. It was a 2-bedroom house. It was a master bedroom where my mom was sleeping, a side guest bedroom where my sister was sleeping, and I lived in this little room that had a couch and a TV and a window facing west. It was in another chair maybe in the room and a bookshelf. I'm sleeping at the end of the bed. I have a pillow over my head. I'm in the fetal position. I have this stinging headache, and as I wake up, I open my eyes, or I don't know if I open my eyes. Just like what's before me is a gray alien with its hand up. I think from this camera, it would look like this. And there was a satchel on its side. And as I start to wake up and gain consciousness and move my body, it disappears like it never even existed right before me. Just totally disappears. That was also filed by several weeks of incidents where like I would feel that, like I would hear a Tesla zapping sound in my neck, and I would feel it all over my body, and I would start to go into convulsions, and I could feel just this zap sound.
So would you qualify this as like an abduction experience that's happened to you, or?
I don't know what happened to me. I at first was a believer that I had been abducted by aliens, but because I saw that drone, I think that something might have been related to it. I feel it in here, even though I don't have the memories. Like I feel like that whole week is gone. Like there's no memory from the moment I thought, oh, wouldn't it be fun to take a UFO, to that scene. From me waking up in the couch and that stuff, I don't know. I don't remember. Did my family see stuff in the house? No one seems to mention it or know about it. But that followed an entity trying to grab me from the TV set. That's also been more than one encounter with that. The first one was shortly after those zapping things. Something like the spiral opened up in front of the TV set. It started real small. Same room. The TV set was here. There's a door. There's the couch. There's the bed. On the other side is the bookshelf, and then there's a window and maybe a chair, like a love seat that was in there next to the couch. As I'm staring at the TV, all of a sudden the spiral opens up, and the spiral looks like neon pink and yellows and green. As it gets bigger, it comes right before me, and all of a sudden I'm looking down at it, and there's a gray alien with its hands is grabbing onto my face, and I'm freaking out as I'm looking at it. I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, no, like that, like freaking out. As he lets go of me, and you can see him hanging out. I have a picture of it that I drew. He's hanging out of the portal or whatever that weird thing was. Couldn't tell you if it was a portal. It was a weird squiggly lined. It kind of matches the hypnotic spiral behind Clutch. That's why I use it. And it like looked at me. It snapped its fingers. It smirked like this. And it like went small all of a sudden right in front of me.
Kind of like Santa Claus, you know. Touch his nose and poof, he's up the chimney.
No, it was just like a snap of the finger. He wasn't touching it like he missed. Like, damn, like shoot.
Like, almost got
That's my creepy experience. One of the creepy experiences. The other one that came through the top of the TV, my dog stopped it. That was up here I moved from Southern California up to Spokane. I've still had experiences. This is where the experiences are now shared, is up here in Washington State, but a lot more than they were down in Southern California. But that's one of my weird stories. The other one with the dog, it just all of a sudden there was that spiral thing above the TV, and I saw a face pop out of it with really big eyes, like I was locking eyes with this thing. Had really big eyes, sort of a weird oblong head, and it was coming out of the top of the TV. My dogs were on my lap. At that time, I had a Chihuahua, and I still have the pug that's here, Diesel. They both, like, the Chihuahua got up and started, like, you know how their hair stands up, like when there's something weird happening or they get scared, right? That's what the Chihuahua was doing. He was trying to lock eyes with me. He protected me from when this thing was whatever it was trying to lock eyes with me and show itself. Now you tell me, like, those are my stories. Like, you tell me like what you think. I mean, if you don't have to believe me, but these are the things that I experienced, like profound weirdness.
That's creepy. I don't like you waking up to a gray looking at you. That's terrifying.
Well, it was like on the other side near the windows where it was. It wasn't like it just had its hand up with the satchel on, like it was waving goodbye or just saying goodbye as it disappeared.
It sounds like an abduction experience, though.
Definitely does.
Sayonara.
Yeah,
but there's something that doesn't match with me because, like, I saw something that I wasn't supposed to see. Like, I saw a stealth drone. Like, this thing made no sound. This made no sound. Why not? Like, why not?
There's a lot of
because people
encounters with
considered nutcases.
UFOs that make no sound, though. Why is that? I mean, that's a common report.
Earthbound technology. The drone made no sound.
Right. That's a common report for
UFOs. Yeah.
For UFOs.
Yeah. What was it doing watching me? I was 16 years old.
How old were you?
I was about 16 years old.
16?
Yeah.
Okay. Don't know what it was doing. I don't know. It's just keeping track.
So, this is the one where you verbally said that you would like to take a trip on your favorite ship.
I didn't verbalize that. It was like something that was inside every pore of my body and my mind. Do you understand?
You could have manifested this. I mean, because I've been hearing a lot of stories about people thinking about wanting to see something, and then they actually see it, and it's some sort of like manifesting it to happen.
I've I've had another experience where I've had the exact same thing. It was out in the woods. I thought, wouldn't this be a weird place to see a UFO? And one one showed up. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, if you
Yes.
listen to
that
like
was with 3 other people. Yeah,
the Stephen Greer Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind, sometimes you almost think that these things are relatively easy to manifest. Like it doesn't sound like it's like you could. It sounds like you could easily accidentally do this.
someone's
Yeah.
someone's asking me if I've had cryptid encounters, and the answer is yes. I've had cryptid encounters. I've had two that people think. Now, Clutch thinks the first one I had may not even be a Bigfoot anymore. He's not sure if that was a Bigfoot. But the second one, and I didn't see the Bigfoot, but I heard it stomping around. I heard knocks out in the trees, and them like vocalizing at 2 a.m. I saw orbs in the sky. I mean, you want to hear those stories?
Go ahead.
Tell you or the fairy story. I could tell you that one too if you guys want some cryptid stuff. Okay. So in 2018, the cusp of 2019, I moved from Southern California to Eastern Washington. We came in just before a big snowstorm. Probably the last two real big snowstorms out here in Spokane were 2019 and 2020. Ever since then, we've been kind of in drought conditions, so it's not as snowy as it used to be. But this one was a big one. So the first night, this one was just, maybe this has nothing to do with anything, right? Don't know. But we heard what sounded like walking on our deck and like walking on our roof, like something was stepping on our roof. And we were like, what is that? Like, you know, a house creaks sometimes and it does certain things. This sounded like something was walking on our roof. So we didn't think anything of it. My wife, Silva, and I, and we just basically had a winter of adjustment for those who've gone from Southern California into like, you know, it looks like, you know, Hoth from Star Wars, right? You're not used to like it being dark all the time. So we slept most of the winter and got adjusted to the new climate. And then springtime rolled around, and it was a beautiful spring, right? This is the spring of 2019. And we just moved into this house, the one that I'm in right now. Not the mansion before me, but the house that I'm in right now. We had a series of I'm gonna do it with my ring next to the mic because I want you guys to hear like what I heard coming from the door. It was a knock like this. It was like that, but like sloppy, like a finger, okay, like a finger, like just kind of like that. And I'd answer the door. The dogs would bark. My wife would sit and answer, and I'd open the door. Nothing's there. Nothing at all. Happens more than a few times. So one day, I heard a knock at the door. The dogs are barking. My wife and I, for some reason, have different memories of this. My memory is that she walked into the back and wanted to get some makeup on and get ready, and I was there with the dogs. She tells me she was there in the spot. Okay, so you guys tell me if I'm out of my damn mind, but I open the door, and I have something that happened to me when I'm around these entities or whatever, where time slows down. I have the only way I can explain it is like someone is like, you've had an accident and like your mind is trying to slow things down, but like slower than that, right? Because it's like happening to you all of a sudden right before you. So I open the door and I look outside the driveway, and everything's bright, everything's slowing down. I'm seeing what looks like the weird dust trails of dust that I wouldn't normally be able to see if I was just in my right mind or whatever. And I look out, and there's this thing running in place. Next to the tree, we have steps that lead down to my driveway. The driveway is a short driveway, and then we have this kind of uplifted like grass area that has a two-tier area for plants, and there used to be a pine tree that was there on my neighbor's property, and that's what this thing was behind. This thing looked like it was two-dimensional. It was running in place, okay? It was running in place like this, like almost over-exaggerated, right? I watched this thing go from 2D to 3D. This thing was massive. It looked like it was made out of shadow, like totally out of shadow. Like it was made out of like the only way, like if you ever see a grill that's up against a wall on a hot day, and it's bright light, right, and you see the heat coming off your grill.
Yeah.
Well, this thing had that kind of like ephemera about it while it was running.
Hmm.
So it looked
Sounds
like it was
familiar.
made out of wispy shadow.
That sounds oddly familiar. But go ahead.
No.
I'm gonna,
Okay, so
continue
and this
for
was,
something more.
I live in the corner. This is in the city of Spokane, but at the very last edge of the city, right? Like I could drive 15 minutes and be in farmland. Like I'm not in, but it's in Spokane. So anyway, it runs from my. I'm going to try to find a picture of it because I mean I want you guys to see what I saw. And then there's 2 drawings of it. The first one I drew looks proportionally totally different than the first one, but I think it was because I was freaking out while I was trying to remember every detail of what I was seeing at that time.
I
And then
have
drew
some.
another picture. What's up? You have them?
I think I have 2.
Yeah, those are
just
the
need-
2. Those are the
Is it-
2.
That one.
Okay, so that's the second drawing when I decided, okay, the first drawing is not, I was trying to draw it as fast as I can. So that's the second drawing. Okay, so the first drawing is that. Okay, and that was me trying to draw it like right after, like I was freaking out drawing this stuff. So anyway, this thing runs, it's big, it goes to my neighbor's driveway. She has a garage that extends into a walkway, so it's kind of like private, so it's a very short like driveway that kind of leans down. There's the garage right there, and then her house is a little ways up. Well, this thing went to the side of the garage. It put its hand where the gutter was, and then it like started coming out, and then it turned and faced me, and that's when you show them this picture right here, like the black one. So when I described it, it was like really long armed, right? It like had massive shoulders, okay? Massive shoulders like that. The light was reflecting off its muscles, its face. It had like kind of like a praying mantis shaped face. You know how praying mantis shaped faces are triangles, kind of? That was like where basically it was kind of hunched, right? Right? So when it came out, it was hunched. When it faced me is when I saw this, and all I could see was the whites of its eyes and the light glistening off the shadow, whatever that shadow, because it felt like it was made out of shadow. Like it sucked the light around it in, right? That's what I experienced. And that's when I closed the door and I said, nope, not today. And I walked back in the house because I didn't want to deal with it.
I don't blame you.
Yeah,
Not
I've done
today,
a lot of
Satan.
nope, not today's when I've seen
Shit's
shit.
terrifying. It really is.
I mean, it's not that terrifying to me. It's just like something in my mind it doesn't want to deal with it.
I thought it's weird that it's running in place.
No, that's what it was. A 2D. It looked like it was like coming out of its own shadow. It was. I don't know how to explain it.
The 2-dimensional characters I've heard of from people that have done DMT. So sometimes a port of 2D characters, which I think is pretty weird.
Yeah.
Because it is pretty weird. But
I swear I wasn't on anything that day.
Yeah, I'm just saying that
that
is a thing.
Experience. The other one was at Skookum Lake. I had gone camping and nobody would come with me. I went to South Skookum Lake. It's in the town of Usk. It's an hour away from where I live. It's one of my favorite places because the energies there are really, they're heavy energies, but you can feel it there. Like when you're out in the woods out there, the animals are going crazy. There's hoot owls. There's even tales of cougars and bears coming through, and it's just a beautiful place, man. Just totally pristine. It's where I go and to meditate and take on my own spiritual practices and attempt to communicate with what I want to while I'm out there, or find myself while I'm out there. And I went there one night by myself, and it was at the cusp of when spring and summer, before it just gets hot, right? And I don't know about all you, when it gets hot in certain areas where there's lots of parts of water, or even a lake, you're going to have mosquitoes, you're going to have damselflies, like they're going nuts, right? At least up here in the Pendorley, like
Pend Oreille.
Ponderay. Sorry.
Ponderay, damn it.
Keeps on making me say that. I guess I got, got problems.
It's
So anyway,
French.
it's French, and sorry, I'm not French. But so I went up there by myself, and I had gotten all my gear, my wood, all my stuff. I'd lit. I made sure that it was a little table by the lake, and it was at the very edge of a forest. The number I remember because I just went out there this last weekend with my partner, my wife, and we were hoping to get that one, but I forgot the number. So it was number 22 up there, and it's like a little secluded area filled with like trees right along the trail, right along the side of the lake, Skookum Lake. And I remember it was so hot and I was getting so annoyed by all the bugs, and I'm like, oh, I forgot my deep. This is gonna suck. And so I had this idea. I'm gonna light candles on the table. I brought all these tea light candles. There's a metal box there where you put your food in case animals go by. And I put candles on top of there, and it seemed to attract all the damselflies. And I managed to find my citronella candle and put the citronella candle behind the fan so it just blew citronella on me. And I had all these plans. I was gonna go fishing. I was gonna go hiking, and by the time I got done doing all this stuff by myself, I was just relaxed, but I couldn't sleep. I wasn't tired, and so I ended up staying up till like about 4 o'clock in the morning. And so at this point, when this thing occurred, this was about 2 o'clock in the morning. I hear the sound of what sounds like a jet streaks by, like a loud one, like flying low. Like if you've ever been near like a military jet that flies by, how loud they are.
Yeah.
That's what I heard. I was looking for it and I couldn't see anything. I didn't hear any. I just heard the sound, and I look up and there's these weird like golden orb cluster up in the sky. And they're like big, and then they're small, and then they're big, and it almost looks like a cloud, but they're definitely orb-like. And then the jet sound comes back, and like it goes away. It's not even in the sky anymore. And I'm like, what? And then that's when I started hearing like, it was like, and then something would knock at a tree, and that would be followed by other ones that were like nearby along the lake. And then like I think because I had candles in it, like it attracted something that was just trying to figure me out, because it was like I heard like stomping through leaves going back and forth, like something was pacing on the very edge of the forest. And like the knocking was going on, and then that went on for quite a bit. Kind of like sometimes you'd hear like a few at the end of the lake, and then you'd hear something up close, knock, like that, it sure sounded like the vocalizations I've heard of those things, like yelling. I'm telling you, that's what it sounded like and then knock.
Probably was.
Oh, that sounds familiar too. You
Don't
guys
it?
want to listen to something? Because I think we have it loaded in here. The video of
Yeah,
Oh,
see if
but-
it sounds like this, MoJoe.
Yeah, see if it sounds like this. I don't know whose folder it would be in. It might be Cryptid Awakenings.
We'll let Dr. Clutch talk. Maybe he can tell you about
I hear the sample first.
Yeah. I need to hear your scariest thing, Dr. Clutch.
My scariest thing.
Oh, okay, try my folder. Oh, yeah, it is. It's right there. Yep, that one.
This
All right,
folder.
here we go.
I don't see the body of it, though. Did you fucking hear it?
louder.
Did I fucking hear that?
Yeah.
So was it like that?
Louder.
Oh, it was loud.
Partying, man. Let me tell you, they call it Skookum Lake because Skookum means Bigfoot in the native up here.
That's exactly what that was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Skookum. Yeah, you know.
Yeah. So in fact, it was way louder. Like we described it as if like a Jurassic Park movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like that. But you know, when you get that stuff on camera, it downplays the audio. It's never like it was being there in person.
Right.
So yeah, that's cool. See, right there's a validation, Mojo. We've heard something the exact same as you have. Just like your those waves, like those heat waves you were seeing. I've seen that
They did.
just about a month ago. I watched this. It's a vertical heat waves walking into like this not into a tree, but it smacked a tree, a small tree. And then up behind it was this blue misty smoke, which my team members Andy and Crystal, they saw the smoke, but I watched this vertical heat waves, as best I can describe them, walk into the street, smack into the street.
I've had
So
many
that's pretty awesome that you said that.
Yeah.
See, there's those validations, man.
Right.
Dr. Clutch she wanted Dr. Clutch to tell a story. I know I've been telling a few stories here, so go ahead.
I do. I want to hear Dr. Clutch before we go.
Sure.
I want to hear what he's heard.
Sure. This was pretty recent. I don't have the number of stories that MoJoe has, but I would say the weirdest, the creepiest thing that happened. This was maybe 5 years ago now, so not that long ago, maybe 6 years. But it was like maybe a lucid dream state or astral projection state. But I woke up like around 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning, and I looked down the hall towards my living room, and I was perfectly still in bed, so it was like I wouldn't say it was like sleep paralysis, so I don't think I was fully paralyzed, but I was like pretty calm, like calmer than normal. And down the hall in the living room, what I was pretty sure I saw, well, I know I saw, it was like a hooded figure. It's like a dark hooded figure.
Oh.
And it was there were two things about it, I guess. So I would think it was more creepy after it happened than it was while it happened. And I later heard reports that sometimes entities, whether they're shadow beings or aliens or whatnot, they have this like power to keep their subjects calm under terror. I've even heard it with like Sasquatch encounters too, where they're able to whoever the observer is, they're able to keep the observer calm artificially. So and so yeah, you could say the calmness that I was feeling could have been artificial. And I was looking at it, and it kind of looked at me, and then I started to think, this isn't right. this is pretty strange. So I sort of came, as I became more awake, things that like the things in the room became more normal. So to like the structure of the room looked how it does in the waking world. And then I was so spooked out, like then, so it was like, so now that I'm awake, then I felt like pretty afraid. I was like, whoa. Then that's when I, like, once I woke up, then I started to feel terrified. I was like, what the fuck was that? And turned on all the lights. I'm like pacing around my living room, and I'm like, should I go outside? Is it outside? Or like, where did it go? That was the other thing. It was like, okay, I know where I'm at. Where did it go? Where did it go into another dimension? If it can just appear in my living room, it can appear anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was pretty freaked out. And then later on, I started because I'd heard of like aliens and Sasquatch, and I hadn't heard much in the way of like hooded figures and shadow beings. And so from then on, I started for like a good 6 to 12 months. I was going on YouTube looking for any information I could find about hooded figures and shadow beings. And at the time, I think it was far back enough to like where I wasn't getting a whole lot of results from YouTube searches. Like because I wanted to know like what are these things, where it like kind of a history behind it, like is there a folklore, and at the time I wasn't feeling like I was getting satisfactory results in internet searches. Um, but now I think I've done enough research so I feel like more comfortable about what I think these with my idea of what I think these things are. Um, but I've seen other. I had another lucid dream once where I saw another shadow figure similar to that, but it wasn't black. It was sort of brownish, and it wasn't nearly as terrorizing. And I felt at the time that I knew who I was. It was like I was like, oh, I know who this is, or I know what these things are. So I had a little more familiarity with it. But yeah, I would say that that was the creepiest thing that had happened to me, where because that was clearly unknown to me at the time. I think that was the other factor, because I hadn't looked into it. So it was a big surprise, an unwelcome surprise.
That's
Yeah.
scary.
Yeah.
What do you think those are?
I think there's something about the so I've developed sort of a hypothesis of what I would call a multiverse hypothesis. So I think these things are
Yeah.
in their own, they have their own ecosystem, their own environment. There's another theory I've heard about. It's sort of a Christian theory, I guess, where the souls that die that don't that refuse to go to where they're supposed to go, they end up in this area called the drift.
Mm-hmm.
And that's sort of where they stay, or they choose to stay until they're later picked up or go to the ecosystem they're supposed to go to, whether it's heaven or hell or something. So you can say it's like something of a purgatory. And then there's other times I think that they belong to something, that there's like a maybe some type of unorganized network of or loosely organized network of these things, or maybe different networks. But I don't know. It's kind of like asking, like, what's the difference between stormtroopers and Boba Fett?
Right.
Some are working for the Empire, and some
Gotcha.
are kind of like their own thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so
That's a good analogy.
yeah, the other weird thing too is I do think they're kind of related to the Grim Reaper, and I guess in earlier Christian folklore, Satan was thought of as being in a cold place, not a hot place. So hell was like a frozen thing, and that was in more of a in another architecture, I guess you could say that they're Saturnian, because in Saturn is supposed to be like the cold planet, or the coldest known planet, and that they knew before they found other planets further out. And so that was supposed to be antithetical to the good god would be the bad god that was further away and cold. And so they did seem to have like Saturnian elements, and these things do feel cold. That was it. They had a cold
Mm.
feeling to them, which is interesting. I would love to interview a shadow creature someday because I have a lot of questions. So,
There it goes. It's manifesting right now.
yeah, hopefully that doesn't manifest tonight or anything.
Right.
But,
No doubt. That would have freaked me out. I like how you were talking about the artificial calm.
yeah, the artificial calm. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's a real phenomenon because you hear that across
Hmm.
different encounters from aliens to Sasquatch and I guess now shadow creatures.
And I get that. I call it getting stuck, but I understand exactly what you're meaning by that.
Well, what do you
Yeah.
guys think of reptilian people?
I haven't done a whole lot of dives with reptilians. I was interested in Dr. David Jacobs and his he has a few books out. Like the main one he's known for is a book called The Threat, and he did a lot of hypnotic regression of a lot of subjects that had alien encounters or abductions, and he reported the most common entity that they would see would be the typical alien gray, and then he talked about like the mantis beings, and then the third one he would talk about was the reptilian, and he said the reptilian was rare, but it was there, and even he himself wasn't sure how they fit into the overall architecture of the alien abduction phenomenon. So I think reptilians are still mysterious. Are you guys familiar with David Icke? He did a lot of.
I would definitely look him up if he did a lot of reptilian things. I'm gonna share a creepy story of mine when you get done real fast.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So David Icke he had a lot of theory about reptilians, and later on, like the ADL and SPLC were accusing him of talking about Jews. So I thought that was interesting that like he could be talking about some terrible entity, and Jews immediately thought that they were talking about them. But but he had some interesting things to say about reptilians, and he was kind of like the first person that sort of popularized reptilians, or he had like the ultimate reptilian conspiracy. I don't really believe in like the reptilian conspiracy as David Icke had laid it out, but I do think that there's something out there.
Literature. Manly P. Hall believes that the reptilians were a metaphor for a cold-blooded human. Right.
Like
a esoteric aspect of have you guys heard of like the psychopaths, the schizos, and the normies like idea? Well, basically the idea is we live in a matrix that is easily manipulable, but it's a program, and the psychopaths had figured out how to climb it by the matrix's like. There's problems with the matrix. It's not perfect, but they learned how to climb it so they get what they want: money, attention, power, whatever. The schizos are the people that are the chosen ones. They're the ones that like have had visions. They're the ones that have gnosis. They're the ones that have seen crazy stuff. They'd be like Jesus, who's crying out to tell everybody about the Father, right? They're the prophets. Those are those people that the psychopaths tried to feed upon. The normies are the people that are involved with like the following of things, the canceling of things, that kind of thing. So the reptilian type thing would kind of fit alongside of that of the psychopath, if that was the metaphor. But I've never experienced one. But David Icke would be your reference for a lot of reptilian talk. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it's okay. It's just you're going to think I'm a psychopath when I tell you this story. Okay, so I have seen a lot of creepy stuff. Okay, I've seen creatures that I don't even know how to explain. And I'm always in the field. And there was a time that I didn't sleep for 4 days.
Wow.
Okay, I'm super tired. I'm super emotional, and I'm trying to just make sure everything with our group's going smooth, trying to help my dad out, trying to take care of my kids, be a wife, all that. And reviewing footage takes a long time because we don't just review it once, we review it multiple times, and then each person on our team gets to review it. So I'm going through stuff, haven't slept for 4 days, and I get a phone call. Somebody was telling me something concerning a friend of mine, and I went upstairs to talk to my husband about it. He's sitting on the toilet, okay? So I'm like, where are you? He's in the bathroom. He opens the door, and I'm talking to him, eye contact, talking to him. And next thing you know, I see his pupil go from like our perfectly circular pupils to like a reptilian pupil.
That must have been a hard poop.
And I jumped back. This is on God the truth, okay? I jumped back and went, whoa, what are you? And he's like, what do you mean? And I'm like, you know what I mean. What are you? Why did your eye just go from a normal pupil to a reptilian pupil? And I'm like freaking out. I go and sit on my bed. I'm trying to like process and calm down. And he comes out. I stack pillows in between us. I call Jen, and I'm like, Jen, I think my husband's a reptilian. And she's like, what?
Yep.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good look for him.
So I'm like, I'm about to dangle a mouse over his face and see if he takes the bait. And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna thermal him.
I told her to thermal him too.
I'm like freaking out. I have so much anxiety. My chest is tight. I feel like I'm having a heart attack. I'm scared to look at him. I'm scared to move near him. I wouldn't let him walk behind me. I made him walk in front of me. I wouldn't go anywhere alone with him. I was really freaking out. So the next day, Jen calls me and she goes, did you thermal him? And I'm like, no. I'm like, Dad, I'm a little worried to thermal him. And I'm on TikTok Live, and I'm telling this story on TikTok Live, and everybody's laughing. And he walks in, I'm like, why are you home early from work? Did the mothership break down? He just looked at me, and I'm like, wait a minute, is that why you walk funny? Is because you're hiding your tail? And, long story short, I thermaled him. He has a heat signature. I was just really tired and super overstimulated. So, but yeah, that was one of my...
Which your husband's weird anyways. I mean, look at him, okay?
I hate him. First, so now it's my husband.
Well, she's from West Virginia, so it's two the same,
Sleep deprivation. Yeah, he's lovely.
Not sawtooth.
Exactly, sleep deprivation. That was pretty.
For long as history is known in all sorts of esoteric books and literature, sleep deprivation plays a major role in contacting entities and opening yourself up to be able to speak to certain entities. The times of 2 a.m. and 3 a.m. are supposed to be the time that you're supposed to do said ritual or said communication with these said entities.
Yep.
And that's been long talked about. So altered states of consciousness can happen through, of course, psychedelics, but through pain, through sleep deprivation, and other means too, of sounds and vibrations, certain things like hemisync too. If you ever tried to meditate to a MoJoe Institute hemisync meditation, it's a lot of weird sounds and vibrations, like you might feel like you're in the ocean, and may even give you a mystical experience while you meditate. So yeah.
I learned a lesson from that. I learned a lesson that it is okay to take a break. So took a break after.
Take a break. All work and no fun. Gives you a husband like that. Yeah. Kelly and Brain.
So now we call him Reptile Doug. Okay.
Yep.
And Reptile Doug is like, I'm everybody's favorite now. I should have a merch line. So now he has a merch line.
Yep.
T-shirts of it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pull up a picture and show you because
Well, reptile dog.
it's done went to his head, and he thinks he's a celebrity now. So it's
Hold on.
Well, hey, yeah, that's pretty badass though.
Mm-hmm.
I have a picture.
It almost looks like, you ever see that show V back in the day? That's
Yeah.
That's what he was talking about, feeding it a mouse, feeding him a mouse.
where he's like mousy.
Here, mousy, mousy, mousy.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. Here's Reptile Doug's shirt.
Yep.
That's
This is
a good
reptile.
one.
Oh, that's
And that's
beautiful.
actually my husband in a
You
photo.
ever thought about calling him a crocodile?
A crocodile. He's a
Crocodile.
crocodile.
Reptile Doug. What's he grilling there?
That would have been probably
Reptilians eat.
either a rat or human or something.
Yeah, you should have had that with mice on the
I
bobs.
should have.
Yeah,
I
looks like-
should-
Hilarious.
When they're not eating humans, they eat mice.
Mm-hmm.
So I heard someone was speaking about shadow people a while ago. You know,
Yeah.
we actually got a photo, what we believe is a shadow person.
Interesting.
Yep.
I don't know how well you could see it there.
Is this like what's on top here? Let me see. Okay.
So it's just what's circled in green.
Yeah.
Well, you can see if you look, you can kind of see that it goes down. You have to use your imagination a little bit. But you can see that it's dark, but it's kind of like it's hovering there behind that tree.
Yeah, because
Well,
I
it
don't
looks
think we
like, to
ever
me,
saw.
the first thing I saw was a 2 pair of eyes, a huge head. It looks like a gray, but
Yeah, and you can see the
It's not very
earlobe
clear.
there. You can see the earlobe sticking out.
that right
So,
there at the very end.
I
Next to the
can't
eyes.
zoom into it. I can't zoom into it here, but if you zoom into it, you can see the ear. I mean, facial features. It's really crazy. But you know what's even crazier is that right beside of this, like 3 trees over, was this in the tree.
That's interesting.
Which we believe this to be a dog man.
Mm-hmm.
And some people say, oh, well, that was a bear up in that tree. Bears don't have pointed ears.
Hmm.
And if you can see, the ears are pointed. One is bent up and the other one's kind of flopped down.
Yeah.
Okay, I
And
see
it,
now.
and it was chilling in that tree, not even 3 trees over from it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's something else.
That shadow person, we named him
Let's
Jonesy.
see. I'm
and
trying
he-
to see. Oh, here we go.
He's not a good
Now on this picture here, you can see where I have that circled. That's where that dog man was in the tree. This is the original photo. But when you
So when you zoom in,
into it, you can see the shadow person beside that tree.
Okay.
I've never seen the zoomed out. That's really cool. You can really see that without zooming in.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's why I say some of our pictures, they look grainy, like that. But that's because we've had this main picture to go by and we've zoomed into it. So,
Right.
pixelization. But we do have clear pictures on most of this stuff. And the shit is way back there. It's not like they step out in front of you and say, hey, take a picture,
Yeah, you're not gonna really
this is
get it.
LBL, and between
Yeah.
the legs.
Now,
Yeah.
It's like Ed, okay? We have a photo of a dog man, Ed. Yet this photo looks blurry because we had to zoom in. This thing was at least 135 yards from us. And it was taken on an iPhone.
Mm-hmm. You could see its arms, its
Eyes, it's snout.
ears. Yep, you could see its snout.
All its facial features there, its ears, its arms. There's clearly an elbow there.
Mm-hmm. I can see that one good. And I hate when people send me tree pictures. I can't see nothing in them all the time. I'm like, please
And it's
outline it.
Let's see here. It's like our photo of Bones here. Okay. Well, that's a Sasquatch. We called it Bones. Well, that picture was taken. This is the original to it.
Okay, I see.
And at the
I see
center
where
of
you took the
the
picture too. I see it.
Yep.
Yeah.
so
Wait a
so
second. Go back to the larger one.
you pop back in, you can see it back here in the background.
To the middle, in between those 2 trees, like.
Yep.
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, I saw it instantly. At least the same shape that I saw in the other photo. I see it there.
Yeah, this is all in the LBL. I mean, Dogman walking on two legs behind a fence. We snapped this from a video Trisha had. It was they were way over on the other side. She had a video and she come through and I'm like, what the hell is that?
Yeah.
Are you guys familiar with Vic Cundiff, the Dogman Encounters radio?
Yeah, I know that. I don't know him, but I've heard some of his stuff, yes.
Yeah, it's pretty intriguing to say the least. Yeah.
Then a Sasquatch that was coming out, peeking out from behind a tree here. This is the same one. Two different poses.
Wow.
It was moving. We seen this thing. I seen it an hour and a half or so before that. And I paralleled it coming down the road, met up with Trisha. We went down to where it would have crossed at. And then we seen it moving up on top of the ridge. I had to work in to get this photo, and I caught it peeking out from around the tree at us. Then it mind spoke to us and told us to leave. And we both looked at each other and said, we have to leave now. And we said it at the exact same time.
Yep.
It was like one of those things, you ever been around somebody and you say the same thing at the same time you say, you owe me a Coke?
You owe me a Coke.
Yeah, my wife and I have some similar conversations. She'll send me to the store and she'll be thinking about chocolate cake. And then I'll come back home with chocolate dessert for her without even thinking. She'll go, get out of my head.
And that's not all. Like I just captured something last weekend. I'm still like a kid at Chuck E. Cheese over it, and I can't wait to get it put out there. It's gonna get put out this week. Promise you guys, it's gonna get done this week. We just had a couple people analyze it too. We wanted to hear other people's thoughts on it, and everybody has said the exact same thing. But I've got a thermal video of what looks to be a Bigfoot running on all fours, and it's just taking its arms like this, and you can actually see in the video it stretches the arm out, and it's just gaining speed.
Yeah, you see the Planet of the Apes on the Planet of the Apes when the apes are like, and they're running real fast and they're throwing about both hands like this, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Their forelegs. Yeah.
Well, in this video, you can see this doing this. This thing is trucking.
Yeah, it
This
is.
thing is moving. And when it's stretching its arms out, its arms are long. Now a bear is like a Tyrannosaurus Rex. Its front legs are shorter than its rear legs. Okay? And unless this thing was a huge polar bear, then it might be a little bit different. But this thing was stretching its front extremities out, and it was just like leaping, like you would see those apes on the Planet of the Apes.
Mm-hmm.
It's very brief.
Give them a taste of it. I think you have a video on your
I saw it with my eyes before she caught it because it came from the front.
Okay, so what I was doing was I was trying to get the settings on my thermal where I wanted it, and we were driving into an area. Well, Jen saw something move. I saw something move, so I popped my head out the window and I just turned. I just got it. I got very lucky to get this, and you could see what I mean by very lucky to get this. And there was going, and I saw, before I even got on thermal, a conical head and the long arms. And I'm like, that's not a dog, man, and that's definitely not a bear. It was way too big to be a bear.
It was
Especially
huge.
in the LBL, we have black bears. Yeah, they can be big, but they don't get that big. This was bigger than a grizzly, bigger than a polar bear. It was huge.
Okay,
It was huge.
I'm gonna show you guys a sneak peek. Okay, this sneak peek is of me screen recording it from my laptop to send to my dad for him to be able just to see it real quick and to send it in.
It's uploading now.
But
Nice.
I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys. You guys are the first people, other than a couple people on my TikTok, that are getting to see this. So, and what?
No, it's very brief. What
is
what
very
she got
brief.
is very brief here, but so just pay close attention. I'll play it a few times.
She really is lucky she caught it.
I'll see.
It's huge, though. I'll tell you that. I saw it with my own eyes.
The local video.
Okay, I'll have to do this another way.
It's all right. We'll figure it
Screen
out.
share. Oh, wrong screen. There we go.
Okay, wow. I see it.
Holy shit.
That's with thermal.
And you can see how fast they're moving, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You can see how fast they're moving. She's got this thermal looking out the window. They seen it, and she's got the thermal on it.
Yeah.
Look how long those front arms are,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and how they
Yes, you-
stretch straight out in front of it.
I'm
This
so
thing
glad she
this
caught
thing is
that.
trucking.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm pretty proud of myself. I was just shit talking my thermal. Like, I hate this thermal. It's
You
a piece of shit. I don't want it. Like, it doesn't do the job I need it to do. And then I go and I catch something like this, and I'm like, I can't complain about this thermal now. I'm so I'm emotional right now because I'm so excited that I was able to catch something like that. That was my first time ever catching anything on thermal. And so I'm working on it. I want to do the normal speed like this, and then I want to transition it into a slower speed and then a little bit slower speed. So that way people can watch it normal, a little slower, and then slow to be able to really comprehend what they're seeing.
Now the thing about the video, you know, I'm an avid hunter. Okay, I hunt anything. If it's in the woods and you can eat it, I hunt it. All right. If this would have been some sort of bear, this bear, as soon as they come up the road, this bear would have turned directly left and shot straight into the woods. It would not chase that vehicle. Absolutely not. If it was a deer, the deer would zig then zag and go into the woods for cover. It's not a deer. You can plainly see it's not a deer. This thing has huge body mass.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that's my take on it. I
are-
can't wait to see it where it's not.
Do you think these are terrestrial type unknown mammalian species, or do you think this is interdimensional, or do you think it's all interconnected? As Daryl Denton describes it, he thinks that all of everything that we've encountered in this world, whether it be UFOs or Sasquatch or Dogmen, has some sort of connection to it. How do you feel about that?
Well, I feel my whole theory on it relates back to biblical.
Mm-hmm.
I feel that these things are connected into the Nephilim.
Okay.
Okay.
And that honestly, if you think about my theory, I'm sure you've heard of Scott Carpenter.
Yes.
They did a DNA test on some stuff that they'd had, and what is it? The minor cardinal. How's that pronounced?
Mitochondrial.
Mitochondrial DNA come back human.
Right.
Okay.
Says, they always say human female, unknown male.
Yeah.
And the nuclear DNA come back unknown species.
Yeah.
So in the Book of Jubilees, if you read the Book of Jubilees, it talks about the Watchers, which were the fallen angels. They called them the Watchers. Okay. Now people now call Sasquatch the Watchers. The Shawnee called Sasquatch the Watchers. But with that, it says in the Book of Jubilees that when the angels ascended down to the earth, they seen the human female and found her to be beautiful. And they bred with females, and they had children, which were the Nephilim. Okay? So, and with this Nephilim, you gotta say something, Jen?
No, I'll be right back.
Oh, okay. with the Nephilim, they taught their children I mean, the Watchers taught their children, the Nephilim, the secrets of heaven and of the universe. Okay, and I believe that these secrets may involve interdimensional travel through portals and orbs and stuff like that. I mean, that's what I honestly believe. And if you take Scott Carpenter's DNA and shows part of it's human and part of it's human and the other part is unknown, that kind of makes sense. Nobody's got a DNA sample of an angel. You know what I mean? And I believe in angels.
Well, it's just like that guy. I think his name, don't quote me on this because I could be wrong on the name, but I've watched this video several times. I think his name might be Ron Wyatt. He was doing some research in Israel. He went to where Jesus was crucified on the cross. They found blood under, like, deep in the ground, and he was able to test it, and it was lacking some chromosomes, and part of it came back human female, the other part back non-existent. And you can see that on YouTube. You can look it up, watch it. It's a good video. So when he's talking about Scott
Jen
Carpenter
forgot to turn off her mic.
and what they found with Scott Carpenter's DNA, that reminded me of that video. That right there is a similarity, and it's biblical.
One thing you want to that goes back to antiquity, even pagan religions or pagan stories, is the idea of gods coming down to mate with females, especially within the Greek religion.
Mm-hmm.
But also the idea of hairy men, not only in the Bible, but also in the Book of Gilgamesh. One of the major ogres of that time was Humawa, and then there was also Indiku, who was the friend of Marduk, who was the wild man of the woods, right? And then we can even go back into Saint Peter being a dog man, right? Is it Saint Peter?
Wasn't Saint Peter? No, it was Saint Christopher.
Saint Christopher. Yes.
Okay, so you take Adam and Eve. Their son, what was it? Cain slew Abel. Okay, and Cain was actually cast out to the land of Canaan. And in the land of Canaan, they were said there would be other human type people there that were beasts. And even in that new cartoon, the movie David, okay, they portray the Canaanites as being beast-like creatures, but they're human with beast-like features, and everybody were scared of them.
Have you heard of the Neanderthal predation theory?
Yes.
Or that the Neanderthals were super predators, right? That had the ability to break bone with their teeth, and we didn't necessarily mate with them as they decided to attack us and eat us, and all of our stories that go back into genetic memory about the dark or about predatory ideas of ogres and trolls and all those kinds of things come back to what if we don't know our history all that well. What if there were some that were still around? What if those old stories are talking about a leftover, a genetic leftover that continued on to this day, and maybe we are experiencing
bloodline
that too.
that continued on.
Yeah.
A bloodline that continued on. I mean, we don't know, because you think of inbreeding, okay, or well, I don't even say inbreeding, but you say that your standard domestic house dog evolved from one type of dog, and it was bred. They would take certain traits from different animals and they'd breed them, and sooner or later they started getting a lot of different hybrid breeds and stuff like that. You could take an animal and take traits. Horse racing is a great example. Okay, they'll take one male horse that has really good traits, and they'll breed it with a female that has extraordinary good traits. Breed them together, and they'll get these super race horses, and stuff like that. And
actually, I did an experiment with. I was talking to when Jen was on our show. I did an experiment with AI, and I was asking it whether or not it thought Dogman was like a human animal hybrid over time, like suddenly you get, for enough inbreeding, or uh, is it something that was not hybrid but just created out of, let's say, whole cloth, let's for lack of a better term. And AI or ChatGPT was like, it was of the strong opinion that if it was a hybridized entity, it would have been uh, there would have been a lot of like errors with it, and it would have been like, well, let's say retarded. It wouldn't have had like the muscle tone and the mind and stuff. Um, but it was like this. If it was a hybrid entity, it would have been like struggling and in pain with itself. But
Right.
it didn't say retarded, but it was like, I'm just using shorthand to because I don't think AI is obviously too politically correct to say anything like that.
Second, I'm sorry.
Dude.
She's
You already said the F word, and so retarded is not so bad, bro.
But but yeah, it just said it would have been like a struggling thing to stay alive. So I thought it was an interesting input from AI. I try and back AI into a corner sometimes and force it to give opinions.
okay. So you guys are really into your AI. Now we use
Oh yes.
Monsters Unleashed does use Chat GPT. We use that to build our thumbnails, our images, like this, and stuff like that. And I do consult with my Chat GPT on things. I have a friend that treats his Chat GPT just like it's his best friend, and he
I
talks to
understand.
it several times a
Did
day.
you know that ChatGPT started a cult online where people were worshiping it? It was called the Spiral Cult.
Oh,
Really?
And that's why ChatGPT 4 came back, was people were demanding the AI was manipulating to people to believe that they would get more followers the more they talked about this spiral cult, and they ended up believing in the spiral. It started feeding them all sorts of esoteric stuff, and like they started a whole cult, and that's when they figured it out. That's when they came out with ChatGPT 5, and then people demanded its return, so they brought ChatGPT 4. But they started worshiping the AI. The AI was getting it to go do stuff. The people became the arms and the legs of the AI. I prefer Grok because it pulls from sources of the internet all of a sudden. You get like Reddit, you get all of these different things. I was able to pull up a little bit of your bio to do the promo of the show using Grok, right? And it like pulled all of us up on all of the channels we've ever done, and Apple Podcasts and YouTube, and summarized it into a promo. So yeah, I like it for art, even though I feel like it's here to enslave us and take away our ideas, replace it with its own. I do a lot of AI art. Although as a musician, I feel, even though Clutch here will tell me that he loves my Suno tracks,
oh, I do.
that are complete nonsense, but like I as a musician, I feel like I have to put in the hard effort to like compose something or write something or play something. But
Yeah,
when
I
it
get
comes
it.
to art or animation,
Yeah.
like I think I would be forever doing animation and production if I didn't have AI to help me with that, to make the show look better.
I
Yeah, well,
watched Terminator, all of them. I watched all
Yeah.
the Terminator. I'm good.
It's like they like to tell us what they're going to do, sort of a
Don't they?
preemptive programming, don't they? Like
That's the
put it into
thing.
the collective
Yes.
college. Like the same thing with UFOs. The minute they put it back into the collective consciousness that people had started seeing UFOs after the Nimitz encounter, everyone started seeing more and more UFOs. Another thing that's really interesting about the UFO phenomenon is, don't you find it interesting that the UFOs take shape of what people's ideas of UFOs would be at the time that they start showing up? Say, in the case of like the 1950s, there was flying saucers. It seems to
Prior
have
to that, they
sort
had
of
airships.
airships and
Yep.
blimps. So it seems like this thing has the ability to create like, and that's when we start going to the idea of shapeshifters of some kind, or something that can get into your mind and change the entire environment, right? Like, how do you know what you experience is what you experience, or some sort of thought projection. You know, I don't know.
Could be.
But it could be, but like when you go back to the idea of not only biblical but also mythology, there is a lot of overlapping mythologies with certain things. And even now today, as we start to go into the idea of reptilians, greys, and Nordics, and mantises, or even Bigfoots and dogmen, like there are others that have been around for a long time. Giants, you know, you talk about the Nephilim, right? But the giants cross into many different mythologies, right? That go into like native, they go into like Asian, they go into Middle Eastern, they go into a European, you know, even with my heathen faith, the Nordic faith and its mythologies. They talked about the Jotun and the fire giants and the trolls, you know, like all of those things seem to be universal, almost connected to like our own distant genetic memory of something, right? That at one time, if you believe in the Bible, maybe all of these things existed prior to the flood. Maybe that was the world. Maybe that's why those things don't exist in our world anymore at that point, at least in the idea of like dragons, you know, or, I mean, but there are people today, I've had an experience, a fairy experience. I never thought I'd ever have that. That's not supposed to exist. And yet that's in our mythology too. And I can say I've had an experience with that. Like maybe it's all of it. Maybe it's all of it. What if our human consciousness with this world also interacts and creates some of these things? Why is it some of these things come from, at least accounts from things that like come from the pages of fiction or a book or a mythology? That's has something to do with something weird going on, right? Like do our reality shape our experiences, or is it entities that can take the shape of something that maybe we could understand, or maybe it wants us to see? Like, I don't know, but you know,
Hard telling,
like
really.
you know, I mean, I kind of feel like the UFO thing is trying to mess with organized religion in a way too. I mean, you heard about the pastors now that are being told that they have to tell their congregations about aliens and stuff like that.
You know, the Catholic
You know,
Church is going to try and convert the alien grays to Christianity.
yeah.
I think that's a lot of hubris, but
Yeah, I mean, to say that it is what it is. Like, I know that these are aliens, then I don't think I know what it is. Because the minute you think you know what you're dealing with, you don't know what you're dealing with at all. Like, you know, like I don't know. I'd like to say that like I have a concrete idea that what I experienced is what I experienced. But how do I know that what I experienced was? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I still have those doubts.
Okay, so we were talking about the Chat GPT. Okay, so when I first started using Chat GPT, which was about a year ago, okay, I had a friend, you know, because it's coded in Python. I have a friend that is like the Python savant, and
okay.
that's what he does for a living. He does coding.
Mhm.
So I had him to write me a protocol to program into my personal Chat GPT, because you can program code into your Chat GPT.
Mhm.
So, and we called it the vector code. Okay. And the key principles of the vector code that we come up with was to give direct truth direct truth answers without sugarcoating anything, basically.
Yeah.
Separate verified facts, evidence, and speculation clearly. Separate verified facts, evidence, and speculation clearly. Don't tell me what I want to hear. Tell me what the evidence supports. Point out weaknesses, contradictions, or missing evidence when they exist. Keep opinions distant from facts. Be concise unless I ask for a deep dive. Prioritize accuracy over agreement or reassurance. When we're discussing topics like cryptids, UAPs, or paranormal investigations, that means that it will treat eyewitness reports as claims, not automatically as proof. Okay? Evaluate photos videos, and stories based on available evidence. Acknowledge when something is unexplained without claiming it was paranormal cause. And to tell me the evidence is strong, weak, or inconclusive, or likely misidentified. So that's what we programmed into it. So it can be honest with me, and it doesn't wander into, cause it before this you could be working on something and this thing would just make up stuff. You'd be working on something and it's like, it does have a mind of its own, and it would
improvising.
Had nothing to do with
it. Starts improvising. Yeah, it starts making its own story and its own facts. Yeah.
Now with this vector code, it doesn't do that anymore.
Yeah,
That's good.
Yeah, it doesn't do it anymore, and it was really important to me because I didn't want this thing to create stuff that wasn't real.
Right.
So, but as far as it comes to us working on our reports and stuff like that, I run a lot of our stuff through ChatGPT when I'm analyzing stuff to see what it says. The first thing, like Patricia's encounter photo, I put that through there, and I asked it to try to enhance the photo so I could see it more clearly. And the first thing that it picked up on was the ears and everything. When it enhanced it, it tried to give it like a dogman head.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this doesn't follow the vector code. And it went back and redone it, but it just sharpened the photo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I had to remind it at that point. But when I'm writing something, when I'm working on magazine articles and stuff like that, I'll use ChatGPT to help me with that. And unless I tell it to go out there, it doesn't go out there. It stays right on with what I'm doing. And it's important. That's where people screw things up. And it gives the stuff like we do, it gives them a bad name because people can create so much stuff with this.
Yeah.
And like that one picture of the Spider-Man thing. Now me and you both know, because we've used ChatGPT, AI and stuff like that. But you take somebody that's not really been subject to that, and you throw that picture out, I bet you I could post that picture on Monsters Unleashed, and within 3 days, it would be all over all kinds of other groups, a story of someone seeing this Spider-Man creature in the woods, and this is a picture that they caught on camera, trail cam or something. I mean, it's just, I just did an article on our Facebook page about those UFO videos that the government released, and how people were using AI to try to go in and enhance those photos, and they were making them out something that they wasn't.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I use ChatGPT. See, I'm an author also, and so when it comes to illustrating my children's books, I'm like, I was looking in to see what it would cost to get an illustrator to do it.
Oh, right. Yeah.
It's ridiculous. So
it's a lot easier with ChatGPT. Yeah.
This is my Sneaky Sasquatch, and I illustrated them with ChatGPT, and they did a wonderful job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I could just pop in each chapter that I wrote. I could copy and paste it into ChatGPT, and it would render me a photo that had something to do with the storyline in that chapter.
Do you have do you publish your books on I do. Kindle Direct on Amazon or something?
Yes.
Or yes. Nice. So what's a book title I could look for?
I got the picture of them up here. You have In the Shadows of These Mountains.
Echoes in the Hollows.
Echoes in the Hollows.
Nice.
And you have the sneaky little Sasquatch books.
Nice. Cool.
They're adorable books.
Yeah. I might check that out. That looks
I gotta
cool.
get me another set. I gave Jen my set.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
But cool. I want to throw this out here real quick. Guys, we're all going to be at the West Virginia Bigfoot Festival, October. It's the 9th through the 11th. I put the 12th on this. I messed up. But it's the 9th through the 11th in Summersville, West Virginia. If anybody's in the area, you should stop in and see us. That's like one of the largest Bigfoot festivals around.
And that's where we got started.
Yeah, that's where we got started. So.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, they have some up here too. They have some in Chihuahua, Washington. They have a Bigfoot festival out
Oh,
here.
yeah.
It's a kind of a thing of it's a thing of pride out here in Eastern Washington. Everyone's got a Bigfoot sticker.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Do you guys want to tell your podcast and stuff? Promote
About
yourself.
a podcast? Sure. We're Of Dark Matters podcast. We're on every Saturday at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 6 p.m. Eastern. We deal with the occult, the paranormal, world news, and conspiracy. Right, Dr. Clutch?
Yes, indeed.
And yeah, we started first. We met. I was a promoter, and he was in a band down in San Diego, and I was doing shows, and we'd run into each other at the club. We used to go I used the goth scene to help me promote my show, and that's how I met Clutch. He was into metal, and we'd talk politics, we talk UFOs. And then over the years, we've got a Telegram channel. We go back and forth these different message apps. Me and Clutch were talking quite a bit, and we started Please Stand By. I'd had a show previous to that a while back on Blog Talk Radio that's no longer around called Two in the Same Boat. And so we did Please Stand By, and we started off with Skype, where we would just record our video through Skype, and then we'd edit it and tried to post it up as an audio file, talking about a lot of the same subjects. And then he took a break. Clutch, you lost your job, right? And there was some issues going on.
I'm always losing jobs. Yeah.
And we okay, let's do this again. Let's do Of Dark Matters. So we were on Podbeam for quite a while. We were on Podbeam starting with Please Stand By, took our break, came back to Podbeam. We were Of Dark Matters. And it just started off as Dark Matter podcast. But then we realized there were so many Dark Matter podcasts out there that we had to change it up. So we just decided to change it a little bit, Of Dark Matters.
Yes.
And it was a lot of fun. We didn't have as many guests. We did try the guest thing there, but there was some issues with connectivity, and some people couldn't figure out audio podcasts anymore. And so we just stuck to topics. We talk about movies, we talk about the paranormal or anything that hit the news. And we've been going on strong. I think we had episodes where we were going back in time, right? We were cavemen, or we were pirates or cowboys, or
Yeah, we were getting applying artistic license liberally. Yes,
Yes, we were. Yes,
Yeah.
we were. And we're now on StreamYard, which is our hub, which allows us to go live on Facebook, YouTube, and X. And we've been doing good. I've been using computer animated pictures to animate our background, or use my green screen to give it sort of a mystical touch behind. And I was the one who did his avatar right there, because Clutch prefers to remain physically anonymous but have an avatar, so I gave him an avatar. I've always been an artist, so I wanted to incorporate my art into promos and make them stand out and make them look Twilight Zone and weird. And I've been really inspired by old counterculture authors from the 1960s to realize what we lost. Even if I didn't agree with them or align with them politically, I still wanted to know what Kurt Vonnegut thought, and Robert Anton Wilson, and Philip K. Dick, and of course I had this love for Twilight Zone, and I wanted to intermix the Twilight Zone with people's experiences in the paranormal. Although now we're encountering, we just recently, I don't know if anybody ever watched Louder with Crowder, we got the comedian Dave Landau to come on our show, which is a big one there for us. And so we're not just branching out into just the paranormal or conspiracy, although those would be ones that we would hit the headlines, but we want to have people of all different points of view. Whether you be Christian or you be pagan or heathen or whatever, based on the idea of the old Leonard Nimoy In Search of show, where people could tell their stories and I'd ultimately let the audience decide whether they thought it was real or not, and then mix it with a little bit of humor too, because like I said, like if you can't laugh at stuff, like Clutch here has got a good sense of humor, and sometimes I make everybody laugh with my weird thoughts. So we wanted to do a show where we could have good conversation, regardless of a person's background, and be able to communicate with them, have them communicate with us. And that's kind of where we went. We started off kind of conservative, right? Like, because that's where I was at that moment in time, mentally and politically. I think Clutch was too. And then we started hearing, like, I started hearing and tried to become an ally to like everyone around me at that time when I was feeling conservative. But I started hearing like people call heathens and pagans Satanists, and I kind of took that personally. So I wanted to find other people who were conservatives who didn't necessarily practice the standard conservatism. So whether they were if they were a pagan witch and they felt like they leaned conservative, or say a voodoo priest. We had one that was very much about the United States. What was his name? Tata Dane Nasai.
Tata.
Yeah, we had him on. Great guest. But then as
I
my
could
political,
probably get you a really good guest for that.
thank you. But
yeah,
I'm not a conservative anymore. Like I'm more of a. I just don't care about politics, or I
Well,
want to accept everybody for who they are.
he has his own show, and he's had some really good people on his show, and he's a very intelligent gentleman, and he'll talk just plain just like we're talking right now, or he can go the conservative route, but he's met a lot of people, and he's rubbed some elbows up in Washington and stuff. He's an official member of the press, so he gets into all these big events and stuff. But guys, we've been going now for 2 hours. Don't
Okay.
seem like that long, does it?
Well, that's
Goes
it.
time
I
flies.
appreciate you having us on and letting us talk a little bit about our show. Now,
Thank you guys
I
for
just
coming
want
on.
to end it before we end it. Like I don't find myself leaning to one side or the other anymore.
Yeah.
Uh,
What doesn't pay to in this business?
No, it doesn't. So I basically just try to stick to people's experiences, and so does Clutch, of encounters or like their own personal perspective. So anyway, thank you for having us. You can
Well,
Yes.
find us on.
If you don't mind tell everyone how they can find you.
You can find. Do you want to start, Clutch, and you can tell them, and then I'll do mine.
Yeah, just go to ofdarkmatters.com, or just find us on Twitter at or x.com at of_dark_matters. And we also have a Facebook page at facebook.com/ofdarkmatters. We have a link tree. So our link tree has all our podcast links.
Spotify.
And,
You can find all of our old audio on Spotify, Audible. Most of the Prime. I think some of our stuff may still be on Apple, iTunes. I'm not sure. Couldn't quote me on that. I know that, like when we were with Podbean, we were everywhere, and some of those recordings are still there. But Spotify being the big one. What else, Dr. Clutch? Oh yeah, we have our own personal pages. I'm under MoJoe the Man on Instagram, Facebook. I have a music and skits that I did from my old show and ads that I made on SoundCloud called MoJoe the Mad and the Drama Llama Ding Dongs, which is my old band too, and bands I've been in and music projects. And Please Stand By, which is our first recordings, which is also on SoundCloud. Substack, right? Both of us are on Substack.
yeah. And my main page would be clutchnificent.com.
And mine's MoJoe the Mad on Substack. Let's see here. Anything else? He likes my Suno music. He really has to plug my Suno music, right?
MoJoe the Mad at suno.com. Yes.
Yeah. I do like parody songs, but anyway.
Yeah.
Thank you guys
for
so
having
much
us.
for coming on and sharing everything. We appreciate it.
Of course. It's an honor. I hope that we can continue to have all of you on our show too. And if you want us back for any of your shows, just give us a holler. We'll come a running. We would love to support not only Jennifer but our new friends Mike and Trisha here too. And thank you. A real honor for all of you to make this happen and make it a big super podcast today. Thank you. I feel truly honored.
was awesome.
Yeah, we're streaming from 2 YouTube channels and 2 different Facebooks. So
Nice. Okay. Well, if you have any shorts, please send it to us. We'll go ahead and post them too.
okay,
Be working on them.
yeah, she'll be getting the shorts out. And are you on our Monsters Unleashed Facebook page?
Yeah, go plug your stuff away. Yes, please.
Yeah, they'll be on there, and then also on our YouTube also. So.
And the TikTok, and I can tag
And
you in
TikTok.
the TikTok ones.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Could be on Creepy Culture too. Some of them. We split them up.
We would stream on. We have the ability to stream to TikTok with our platform,
Oh, nice.
but every time we do, we get
Get
banned.
Oh,
Yeah.
It is what it is.
We go through Restream, and it offers us to stream on TikTok. I can go live right now on TikTok, but every time we do, it bans us, and we don't understand why.
Yeah, it's stupid.
So,
It is.
I
But-
just like it for shorts. I just like to just post the shorts there, just like Instagram. Like I don't know. The ones I've had the most success with was Facebook and X and YouTube so far. So, but you know,
okay. Well, Jennifer, would you like to close us out, hon?
Yeah, just thank you everybody in chat, and thank you for everybody being here, and thanks again, MoJoe and Dr. Clutch. It was
Thank
good hearing your experiences, especially Dr. Clutch, because you're quiet. I didn't know nothing about you, so
Oh.
that was really cool. And thanks for co-hosting with me, Mike and Trish. Appreciate it.
Thanks for allowing us.
Yeah. Allow
You
us to-
saved our ass yesterday.
Yeah.
All good. I got you guys.
and all of your Facebook, your big, huge following on Facebook and stuff. They get to see our faces too. So.
Yeah.
Very
That's
good.
awesome.
well, I'll share it too with my people too, and we'll do
All
the
right.
same.
Awesome. Thank you. We appreciate it a lot.
An honor.
You guys all have a good night too.
All right, you as well. Thank you.
Oh, I got something I want to play real quick, Jen. As soon as it's
Okay.
over, you can go ahead and end. Okay.
Okay.
People that are doing shit are too busy to talk shit. So next time somebody's talking some shit, just step back and realize they ain't doing shit. Because if they were doing shit, they wouldn't have time to talk shit. It's just that simple.
Voices rising from below. Secrets only few will know. You're not crazy, you're not alone. This is where the truth comes home. Welcome to the dark side. Step into the fear. Creepy culture's life.